Highwayman's Mail Order Bride. Westward Hearts Book 1. By Blythe Carver. Chapter 1. The coach jolted and bounced over the rough road, drawing a groan from the passengers aboard it as they fought to remain in their seats. How were the rules of polite society to be maintained when a person all but landed in the lap of another every time the stagecoach hit a bit of uneven ground? And it seemed as though that was all they'd come across since their most recent stop, to the point where several of the men on board questioned whether they traveled a dedicated road at all. The Butterfield line was known for its speed, everyone knew that, but the men currently struggling against nausea and sore backsides, it truly did wear on the body, bouncing up and down as they did, questioned if that speed was the result of cutting across the open prairie. Only one passenger of the 9 aboard did not complain, or even open their mouth except to cough into a handkerchief when the dust from the wheels became too much to bear. She happened to be the only woman on board, as well. While the journey was a difficult one, especially since she'd made the change from the smaller, slower-moving but far less taxing stagecoach lines of the East, she minded little so long as she got where she was going, and in a hurry. Between Boston and St. Louis, they had taken long meal breaks in reputable inns and boarding houses. She'd been able to wash away the dust and grime as well, and had even felt downright refreshed upon climbing back into the stagecoach after each stop. Now, the situation had changed, to say the least. It mattered not to Melissa Carter, who pressed herself into the rear corner of the coach and did what she could to be forgettable. An old trick, one she'd mastered over many years. Disappearing. Fading into the background. Avoiding notice at all costs. Even so, there was no avoiding the glances. The curious stares she noted through lowered lashes, while the men in the coach believed her to be asleep. The deferential treatment whenever the opportunity arose, a hand into and out of the coach, a place at the head of the line while awaiting food. They made certain she was served first, and even watched their language when conversing over the meager suppers provided at the ramshackle establishments which marked each leg of their progress. There was little conversation in the coach, as the need to shout over pounding hooves and creaking wheels made it all but impossible to hear the person seated just beside or in front of oneself. To say nothing of the choking dust which constantly stirred in the air. One did what one could to avoid breathing it in, which left the art of conversation severely lacking. Melissa adjusted herself as primly as possible, wishing she could stretch her legs rather than propping them atop a sack of mail, always careful to avoid brushing against the leg of the man beside her.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?